Parents of children with special needs, you don't need to keep them away anymore. Bring them come to school. They too must have a chance to have value added to their lives.
The Education Minister, Reverend Ronald Thwaite, speaking recently in the sectoral debates. The government continues to be firmly committed to the needs of our special needs community, and in today's Jamaica magazine we gain further insight into one group of persons with autism. Welcome to the program. I'm Adrian Atkinson. It's the final week of Autism Month, and today we share tips on how to cope with autistic children. Plus, the Special Education Unit of the Ministry of Education gives some advice on dealing with autism and sexuality. A full package is in store, so let's get started.
I say be careful what you teach your little children. Make sure I know something to hurt them.
Parents, keep your children safe and protected. Stay alert and be aware of where your children are at all times. Submit the latest photo of your child to his or her school. Know what's happening with your child. Listen to them when they say they don't feel comfortable going to a certain place or being around certain persons. Act quickly when your child tells you he or she has been touched inappropriately or approached with unwanted requests. Be the change. Help us protect our children. For more information, call 1-888-776-8328 or 1-876-878-2882.
Good day, I'm Stacey Ann Smith, and this is your GIS News for Tuesday, April 28. Government is working on a management plan to see whether a local sea cucumber industry can be viable. The Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries and the UN Food and Agriculture Organization recently signed a $30 million agreement to carry out the project over 2 years. In the meantime, fishing of the species is prohibited. Minister Kelly says people have been exploiting the stock of sea cucumber because of its value and potentially high earnings.
This agreement with the FAO to conduct this study on capacity building in resource assessment and management of the Jamaican sea cucumber fishery and potential for aquaculture development, aimed at creating a sustainable basis for the operation of a management system. This is to be established within the sound scientific evidence through consultation with all stakeholders.
Meanwhile, Agriculture and Fisheries Minister Derek Kelly says a cess will be imposed on other fish species to prevent exploitation. He says proposals have been brought to Cabinet to amend the Conch Cess Levy Act of 2009.
It is this cess that will be used to sustainably manage the resources, including the much trumpeted cleanup of the Pedro Keys.
Minister Kelly was speaking in Parliament during the sectoral debate. He said further regulation of the sector will come from the Fisheries Bill, which will be tabled this year. The Fisheries Act of 1976 is also being amended to increase fines for poaching. In the meantime, the ministry has announced that the way has been cleared for the use of surveillance drones to better monitor Jamaica's marine space. Final tests of the small unmanned aerial vehicles were successfully completed last Thursday at the Pedro Keys. It's expected that the drones will help authorities detect and discourage illegal fishing in the island's territorial waters. Government is investigating the impact of climate change on domestic and export crops and meat production. The information will be used to strengthen the agriculture sector's resilience.
This information, gathered by using modeling approaches and tools, is invaluable in crafting policy and on-the-ground actions. The Ministry, through the Climate Change Division, will be mainstreaming the incorporation of climate change considerations into agricultural policies, programs, and projects.
The Portfolio Minister was speaking at the Climate Change Resilience and Food Security Workshop held recently in Kingston. The study is being done by the Climate Studies Group at the University of the West Indies. The Education Ministry is supporting an initiative to explore the principles of neuroscience to help in the teaching-learning process in schools. The initiative is being led by the Jamaica Teachers Association, JTA. Director of the ministry's Western Regional Office, Dr. Michelle Pinnock, has commended the JTA for its focus on the value of brain-based education.
As you explore the phenomenon of neuroscience and discuss how its principles can be incorporated into our education system, we at the ministry welcome innovations, especially those relating to how schools can be better organized, all in a bid to ensure that students maximize their potential.
Dr. Pinnock was representing the Education Minister at the JTA's 14th Annual Education Conference in St. James recently. And finally, Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller is urging the youth to invest their time in developing the country and creating lasting legacies. She was speaking at a function to celebrate the 40th anniversary of the Hanover Cooperative Credit Union. Mrs. Simpson Miller encouraged young people to learn from the successes of businesses like the credit union.
It is a reminder to young entrepreneurs and graduates that they can make it in business with a clear vision, a workable idea, a viable business plan, proper preparation, consistent hard work, and the resolve never to accept failure as an option.
The complex housing the Hanover Cooperative Credit Union was renamed the Enid Gonzalez Building in honor of its founder. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stacey Ann Smith. Thank you for watching.
My name is Jason Ricketts, and I employ all youth with disability to not give up hope.
Another day comes, another day goes.
There is a space out there for you, you just need to work hard, and I'm sure that your training will help Jamaica move forward to meet Vision 2030 plan.
Autism is a lifelong developmental disability that affects how a person communicates and relates to others. More Jamaicans are becoming aware of the condition, and we've seen stories of autistic people thriving despite the odds. But coping can be challenging for the autistic child and their caregivers. So how does the government help? We get the answers next.
Is your child showing signs of delayed development? Does he or she often shy away from interacting with others, appear overly disruptive, or exhibit strange behaviors? If you have them assessed, you may find these are symptoms of one of the most common developmental disorders, autism. Autism is a complex disability which affects the social and communication skills of an individual. Children with autism exhibit mild to severe developmental difficulties in speech, social skills, and physical abilities.
When children, are expected to first say mommy, daddy, or put 2 to 3 words together, children with autism may do that much later, or some not at all. They tend not to respond, so when, you normally ask children, go and get this for me, the child with autism may not be able to respond to that. And you often expect children to point to things as they're growing up. The child with autism often doesn't point or wave by or use other gestures.
Some other indicators of autism include persistent repetitive behaviors, such as spinning objects, clicking light switches, or opening and closing cupboard doors. Severe resistance to change in routine, including their diet or mode of dress, and a tendency to exhibit severe obsessive-compulsive behaviors, like placing things in order all the time. The prevalence rate for those born with the condition has increased rapidly. The latest statistics show that approximately 1 in every 88 children born each year will have the condition.
With our country of about 45,000 births per year, it means that we have about 500 children being born every year in Jamaica with this condition. And because it affects boys 4 times more than girls, each year we will have 400 boys and 100 girls born with this problem.
What leaves experts concerned is the fact that as the number of persons born with the condition increases, research has not yet been able to find an exact cause and ultimately a cure. At present, the best mechanism to deal with autism has been early diagnosis and intervention.
If you can provide children with early intervention, when the brain is developing rapidly, then you can make a significant impact. You're probably not going to change the diagnosis of autism, but you're going to improve the child's developmental status.
Jamaica's Education Ministry, in partnership with other agents, has sought to provide support to special needs children and caregivers through multiple initiatives. Facilities such as the Early Stimulation Program and schools like the School of Hope and the Promise Learning and Training Center all get governmental support to offer developmental and social support programs, including speech, occupational and behavior modification therapy, and others. So it's up to parents and guardians to be vigilant and act quickly so their children can have a chance at getting the help they need.
At age 2 or 3, you may see the manifestation developing, where the child may be lacking communication, lacking social skills, or maybe having stereotyped or repetitive behaviors.
Promise, like some other entities, has even gone beyond just early intervention strategies. In addition to early childhood, primary and junior high school facilities, they also have a skills training center, a school band, and a swim program.
If these students were discarded, we would not have seen their potential. So I'm encouraging parents not to give up, but to give them a chance.
He enjoys doing cooking, and so the school has been sort of gearing him towards that. He plays in the school band. He does swimming. He's into Special Olympics. As a matter of fact, he went to Puerto Rico in 2010 with the Special Olympic team for swimming, and he got a gold.
Parental support is also necessary, and that's where institutions like the Jamaica Autism Support Association come in. Founded in 2007 by a couple of resilient parents, the group has monthly meetings and other activities to help both parents and children feel included.
We got to cut out pictures, our things we liked, things that made us happy, things that made us sad.
Things that make me mad or angry is about things that I lost: my jewelry, my shoes, and my ring.
First it started within our circle, and then eventually we made it a national organization for parents out there who not receiving any form of intervention at all, who totally have nowhere to turn to, nobody to turn to, no computer access to know about the disorder.
They get out messages to us that we on our own would never have known before. And with each little message, somebody out there gets inspired and says, you know, this clicks, this happens with my son or my daughter, and maybe I can look up this and help a little more.
Autism is a complex condition, and coping with its diagnosis and treatment takes effort. But if done early and properly, some children can go on to live as close to normal lives as possible. For further information, visit the website www.jamaicaautism.org. Contact the Jamaica Autism Support Association at 831-6140 or the Special Education Unit in the Ministry of Education at 967-2312 or 922-9370-9.
There'll be a better tomorrow. 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 There'll be a day. There'll be a way. There'll come a time to sing a brand new song. There'll be a better tomorrow.
Sometimes even the greatest joys bring challenge, and the children with special needs inspire a very, very special love.
We're still on the topic of autism and how to help affected persons and their families. We're going to look now at the issue of sexuality, which is often overlooked when dealing with those with autism. Dr. Hickswell Douglas in the Ministry of Education's Special Education Unit now offers some advice.
First of all, we need to recognize that children with autism develop sexually like all other children, no difference. And because of the uniqueness of their situation, where they like routines and they don't like changes, we find that the period of puberty is particularly challenging for all children with autism. Parents will need to recognize that every single child with autism needs to understand the proper names of body parts. If the parents, as first teachers, don't pass that information on, then the children are going to get a lot of misinformation. Not only will they get misinformation, but they may develop inappropriate sexual behaviors. Parents will have to learn how to use replacement behaviors so that a child who is doing something inappropriate in the public, for example, let's say, for example, a boy who may be masturbating, the parent will understand that give that child something to keep him occupied. For example, maybe holding onto a sponge ball or a squeezer or a tweezer or something to keep his hand occupied so that he's not using it in an inappropriate way in the public domain. Girls, for example, who are going through their menstrual period, that's a big change for them, lots of confusion. Parents will have to teach them step by step how to manage those changes and not to get anxious and develop inappropriate behaviors. Social stories are those stories in which we are going to use real-life situations and even the names of the child in the story to help the child to understand the concept that the parent is trying to get across. Videos are also very helpful in that kind of situation.
Play is very important to the development of children. It allows them to use their creativity and develop their imagination. Through play, children interact with the world around them. They learn how to work in groups, share and resolve conflicts.
They learn rules and they learn about respecting others and waiting turns and setting their own rules and guidelines for their games.
Set limits, but allow your children to play. It will help them develop the confidence and resilience needed to conquer future challenges.
Parents, assist your children with their schoolwork. That means help. Don't do it for them. Every assignment, such as school-based assessments, SBAs, should be written and researched by the students. Doing the assignment is not helping your child, but rather teaching him or her to take shortcuts and even being dishonest.
SBAs are expected to be developmental. They are aligned to the syllabus, and it is really to assist the students in developing those fundamental concepts for them to do well in the examination itself.
Doing your child's assignment is a breach of the educational regulations which carry severe sanctions. Be of help. Don't be dishonest.
The ministry is pleased to hear reports of students and schools that have been showing improved learning outcomes as a result of using the enrichment centers.
Yes, the enrichment program has been quite a success, helping students who had difficulty reading make vast improvements. It's a public-private partnership involving the Ministry of Education and the Digicel Foundation, which has already begun to impact lives. Just last week, the Central Branch All-Age School was added to the program. Let's now hear the story of one particular student, Maria Willis, from the Waterford Primary School, who's benefited richly from the program.
I am Maria Willis. I am 8 years old and I attend Waterford Primary School and I am a child star.
Reading maketh a full man, or in Maria's case, a transformed girl. Very shy by nature, Maria is now blossoming into a little star at her school, Waterford Primary, excelling in reading, spelling, and more.
Sandy ran away from home. Now he is lost. How will he get home? Sandy meets Paul. Paul is a friendly boy. Will he help Sandy?
2 years ago, Maria couldn't even read. But through careful guidance and care, she is now ahead of her peers. So what led to Maria's transformation? Well, it's all largely in part to the enrichment program.
This program is a program which was sponsored by Digicel Foundation and the Ministry of Education. It's an enrichment program for children, especially those who are slow in literacy. Although the room really should cater to children who are progressing too, special students, as well as those who are mastering in the area. But because of the grave situation at the school, we focus mainly on those who are very weak in literacy.
I could not identify the words and when I could not spell and read.
And Maria came to the room for 2 years, grade 1 and 2. When she actually did the tests for the room, Maria could not identify most of the letters and even to repeat their sounds. So I had to start from the beginning with her. She couldn't even write her name well. But as the term progresses and the years progress, she improved greatly.
And it is that individualized instruction with Miss Myers which made the difference in Maria's journey. Help also included the use of technology, a critical part of the enrichment program, which includes games to make the learning process interactive and fun.
I used to play games, the alphabetical beanbag, chill and play on the computer and play games and play hopscotch.
You're gonna construct the sentence now. Look at the words, say the words. What word is that?
Fly.
Fly loudly. Food.
Not. Spaceship. My.
Good. So now you have to write a sentence using these words. Which of these words would you start with first?
My.
My. Well, click on it. Good.
Spaceship.
Yes.
My spaceship could not fly. Yes, that's the message I want to send.
And even as she gets the assistance, Maria recognizes the role she has to play in her development.
I'll go home and read and study my words.
Through the power of words, Maria is changing the course of her future, excelling in both reading and spelling competitions at Waterford, even copying the champion spelling bee title in the school's competition.
This is for reading in my class, and this is for spelling bee. I feel happy because I couldn't read and I couldn't spell. Now I became a spelling bee champion.
And it's not only in spelling that she's been excelling. Maria's proving to be an all-round bright spark.
Is she correct? Yes. Give her a clap.
Maria also has the passion for another area, and for a school that has produced Olympic greats like Warren Ware, one can certainly understand why.
I like track and field because track and field, the coach make you run faster, and I like to be like Shelley Fraser.
And like Shelley, she's already getting media buzz, having been featured in national newspapers for her tremendous progress.
When I saw myself, I felt so happy because it's the first time going in a newspaper.
Perhaps it's because it was through a teacher that Maria's life has forever changed, that she now has a strong conviction on the path ahead for her.
In the future, I want to become a teacher. I want to tell all the children that you must pay attention in class and that reading is fun. Spelling bee. I got stung by a bee. I won't tell you where. I got stung by a bee. I was just lying there. And it tattooed a message. I can't tell you where. That spells out, welcome. You have been stung by a bee.
Shine bright, don't be shy, be a star. Where you live, where you are, shout it up, be a star. Shine bright. Are you pleased with what you see?
It could be that no matter what you say, you follow all of the parenting rules and all of the parenting tips, and your children going to go out there and still do something stupid. The most that you can do is teach them responsibility. Responsibility to take a step, stop, think for a minute. Foresight to see what can happen in the future if they do something. Don't be afraid to be a parent. They're children, and as parents, we have to set up the necessary disciplinary structure so that they can grow and become positive citizens and good citizens of Jamaica. Because the bottom line is better parenting, better children, and ultimately what? A better nation. That's where we want to go.
You make your best. Don't forget. Don't you
Which government organization offers you exceptional customer service? A tax office, police station, hospital, post office, health center, or NIS office? Vote for your favorite public sector organization in the Public Sector Customer Service Competition. Call toll-free 1-888-991-2752. Visit cabinet.gov.jm and follow the instructions. Or drop your entry form at government agencies island-wide. Votes close April 30, 2015. Let your voice be heard.
We've come to the end of another edition of Jamaica Magazine. Today's show really highlighted how government continues to work with our most vulnerable as it develops Jamaica's human capital. To see a repeat of this program, visit our YouTube channel at Watch GIS. For all the news and information, check out our website at gis.gov.jm and stay connected via social media. On behalf of the entire GIS team, I'm Adrian Atkinson, wishing you blessings and peace.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.